Ho, 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 ho! Full of Christmas cheer. Well, Christmas is a few weeks away, and I'm in a bit of a sort of thoughtful review kind of mood. So, what I thought I would do is pull together 12 of the best records that I've acquired this year. It's been a fantastic year, and if I look back on my sort of Discogs library and look at all the records that have adorned my collection. There's 12 outstanding records which I want to talk about, and if you've seen my previous videos, there won't be much of a surprise, but there might be a few, mostly jazz, which I'm very proud and pleased to say. So let's get stuck straight back into it, because there's 12 records and I'm going to go through them quite quickly. So I'm going to kick off with this. Actually, I'm cheating a little bit because I can. It's my channel, and I'm going to kick off with two records for number 12. It's the Milt Jackson, Count Basie, The Big Band, Volumes 1 and Volumes 2 on the Pablo label, which I've mentioned before. These are flipping excellent. They're absolutely fantastic. I'm not into big band. I really like the Gerald Wilson Tone Poet that came out recently, and I just think these are fantastic. So Volume 1, I don't know when that was, 1978. Both 1978, both by Norman Granz, who I understand from my not good friend, but fellow YouTuber, I should say, Alan Castle from 10 Minute Reviews. Norman Granz was the founder of Pablo, or part of certainly trying to revive the big band scene. If you haven't seen Alan Castle's reviews, please have a look. He does really great 10-minute reviews on albums, iconic albums and labels. So 12th place. Not only are these, like, you know, sort of 44, 45 years old, but they sound absolutely fantastic. Rich and detailed, really clean. Lucky to get these, and cheap as chips. Right, so that's 12. Let's get through this. Number 11. So, number 11, I am going to pick this out. This is Lee Konitz, Inside Hi-Fi. It's on the Pure Pleasure label. Brought out, I've obviously acquired it this year. It's on Pure Pleasure. It's on Atlantic. And I just love that cover, that sort of close-up of some kind of hi-fi system with Lee's face poking into through the hole there. It sounds fantastic. It's a wonderful, funky, cool, groovy listen. I just love Lee Konitz, and it's very sad that he's no longer with us anymore. I think he parted this world last year or year before. So this is a glorious listen. Fantastic. Right, number 10. Not a jazz one this time. I have featured it before. It was my biggest surprise, I think, of this year. And I'm going to go with English rap, hip-hop artist, Little Simz. I absolutely loved her first debut album, Grey Area. And this won loads of awards. I think it won the Brit Award. Yeah, the Brit Award, and I think it won the Mercury Award this year as well. Double LP. Sounds absolutely fantastic. Loads of big, glorious instrumentation. She's done a really good job. She's really bigged it up, and it's a really good listen if you like the kind of like soul. It's not soulful, but there's just everything in it. There's big band, there's hip hop, rap. It's just incredibly luscious, full of great music, and it's very heartfelt. I don't like the title of the album, to be fair with you. Sometimes I might be introvert, and I'm not terribly keen as a picture. Sorry, Little Simz, but the album is top notch. Right, number 9, and I think I listened to this, as I say, I picked up a tip from watching, I think it was Jessica Pratt doing a Amoeba what's in my bag, and I fell in love with Can, Sunova Babaluma. Very strange, chanting kind of just rock, very strange rock, really. I really like this album. This is just a fantastic listen from start to finish. It's very peculiar. This is 2013 on Spoon Records Limited. Sounds great. I've got no issues at all with this. Lovely silver covered hardcover. I'm not going to get the record out, but I recommend you listening to this if you like a little bit of, what's the word? What do they call it? It's kind of experimental rock, I think, of its day, and I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. Love that. Number 8. We're rattling through this, aren't we? So, what could be said? Which I haven't said before about Sam Records. Fred Thomas looks after Sam Records with his shop in France, and he's done very well. And this is probably one of my best buys of this year. Donald Byrd and Bobby Jasper, Cans 58, tip-on jacket, great quality record. It sounds fantastic, and I think these jazz records, they sound brilliant because they just knew how to record the music. They knew about microphone placement, they knew about the instruments placements, and it's mastered beautifully. And I just think it's a beautiful record, lovely, lively, but really tuneful, and it's really great. It's a great record. So we've got Donald Byrd, obviously, Bobby Jasper on sax flute, Walter Davis on piano, Doug Watkins on bass, and Art Taylor on drums. And it was recorded at the Cannes Jazz Festival, July the 11th, 1958. Wonderful. One of Fred's best work, I think. You've done a great job, Fred, pressing that. It's gorgeous. Number 7. Now, when I heard this, it was almost too good to be true, because it's just beautiful. I've saved the best till last, I'm hoping. This is Duke Ellington, John Coltrane on Impulse. It's 2022, obviously. It's come out this year, and it's on the Silver Acoustic Sound Series label. Hype sticker says, mastered from the original analog tapes by top mastering engineers, manufactured at Quality Record Pressings, QRP, on 180 gram vinyl, gatefold sleeves printed at Stoughton Printing Company. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is, without doubt, stunning beyond words. I mean, it's typical acoustic sound quality. It's stunning. It is absolutely gorgeous. It kicks off on side 1 with In a Sentimental Mood, which is a jazz standard. Bill Evans has done it. Lots of other jazz artists have done it. Recorded in September 1962. And it's an absolute to die for record, this, for me. It's stunning, there's no doubt about it. It's glorious, beautiful. The way that Duke Ellington and John Coltrane play together in synergy, it's an absolute joy. It's a joyful listen. So Duke Ellington and John Coltrane on Impulse. And now it's a Blue Note classic, and I think Blue Note classics this year have really improved a lot, actually, in terms of pressing quality. I've really enjoyed this one. When it came out, I couldn't stop playing it. Dial S for Sonny, so it's Sonny Clark. Blue Note 1570, We've got Art Farmer on trumpet, Curtis Fuller on trombone, Hank Mobley on tenor sax, Sonny Clark on piano, obviously, Wilbur Ware on bass, and Louis Hayes on drums. And it's a stunning LP mastering by Kevin Gray at Coherent, so you know what you're getting. And Blue Note hype sticker says mastered from the original analog tapes by Kevin Gray, and they've started put made in Germany, which has really intrigued me. I think that's a sign of quality. I think I mentioned this before in a previous, but this is my favourite Blue Note Classic series. It's a lovely, swinging, gorgeous sounding recording. Done a great job on this. It's a joy. Right, number 5. I acquired this fairly recently. It's back in print at Pure Pleasure in London. And it's absolutely one of the funkiest records I've ever listened to. And it's got so much love and joyful, just wonderfulness with it. Herbie Hancock's Man-Child. Fantastic. Released in 1975 on Sony. And this is a 2013 Speaker's Corner edition. And hype sticker says, made from the original analog master tapes. Only the best mastering studios worldwide. Pure analog audiophile mastering. 180 gram. Virgin vinyl pressed at Palace. You can't go wrong if it's pressed at Palace. Faithful reproduction of original artwork and labels. And it's an absolutely gorgeous listen. I mean, Herbie's work is good. I mean, he's still around and he's still performing. I think he was at Glastonbury this year. I'm pretty sure he was at Glastonbury Festival in the UK. This is a wonderful record. I think this is my favourite Herbie Hancock so far. And Speaker's Corner have knocked it out of the park with this. It's stunning. So number 4, I'm going to talk about this record. Another one that I bought from Pure Pleasure, and it's Freddie Hubbard's Straight Life. I love that front cover of the Statue of Liberty with this plane going overhead. We've got George Benson, Ron Carter, the wonderful Jack DeJohnette, Herbie Hancock on this. So you know what you're getting with this. It's that same real funky, wicked kind of vibe. Joe Henderson and Richard Pablo Landrum, and it's on CTI, Creed Taylor Incorporated, or in Industries. I think it's Incorporated. Wonderful, funky as hell, absolutely toe-tappingly, head-bangingly wonderful. And if you haven't heard it, have a listen to it. I mean, they're all in print still. These records, they're not anything crazily special. They're expensive, but they're not mad. But I absolutely love Freddie Hubbard's Straight Life. It's just full of energy. Right, number 3, a very special record that I did a showing of it when it came out. It was late. Pressing plants were, way behind schedule, and we saw prices go sky high. I've seen prices now going through the floor again. I think pressing plants are catching up anyway, but this came out late, but it's so nice. It's kind of got an aura of loveliness on it. It's kind of like just so beautiful. There's no other words to describe it. It's Bill Evans' You Must Believe in Spring, and there's only one reason why it's not at the top spot. I'm sorry, I'll come to that in a minute. This is on Craft, 1977 studio album, and it's Craft Recordings, manufactured and distributed by Concord. And you've got Bill Evans obviously on piano, Eddie Gomez on bass. I love Eddie Gomez, and Elliot Zygmunt on drums. Double LP, 45 RPM. You can see that. Wonderful, beautiful record. This is love from start to finish. It is absolutely gorgeous. I think it was his last studio album. There's a wonderful, wonderful essay here written by Mark Myers talking about how the trio developed and got together and created this beautiful record. And my only, I'm not going to go into it. There's a record, I've done a video on this already. I'm not going to go into it too much because I'm pushed for time, because you're probably fallen asleep. If you're not, if you're still with me, then fantastic. It's just a bit of it's a little bit of a noisy listen. It's not as good as a tone poet. It's a bit distracting. I think it's side B or side A. It's just like I've cleaned it and cleaned it and cleaned it. Lots of people have commented on it, and it's a little bit like the Chick Corea acoustic band they brought out. I was dying to have that, and it was dreadful. I had to buy the CD. This is nowhere near as bad. It's a fantastic listen. It's dynamic. It's rich, wonderful. It's a beautiful record. I'm just being very picky, but my goodness, it's just so beautiful. And that's my number 3 of 2022. You know, I've got nothing else to say about that. It's just beautiful. Number 2. Now, I haven't had any of this artist's work before, and I decided to get this because it was so special. And it's Joni Mitchell live at Carnegie Hall. It's a big slab of records. We've got 3 records recorded live at Carnegie Hall, New York, February the 1st, 1969. And it's just wonderfully, it's love. It's just a gorgeous record. They've recorded her first real live performance in front of an audience, which they've left in some of the chat she has. She's very nervous. She's playing the most beautiful. She starts off with Chelsea Morning, goes into Valentine for Joni, and then Cactus Tree, Night in the City, I Had a King. And the rapport she builds with the audience is delightful, and it sounds fantastic as well. I mean, it's a gorgeous set of record. It's a gorgeous recording. It's on Rhino. It was actually pressed last year, 2021, and it's beautiful. Hype sticker says Joni's debut performance at Carnegie Hall, recorded by Reprise in 1969, mastered by none other than Bernie Grundman, and it includes an essay by Graham Nash, and it's limited edition apparently of 15,000 3 LPs apparently. So I don't know whether you can still probably get this. If you can, it's well worth getting. I thoroughly, wholeheartedly recommend it. It's a beautiful, beautiful record, and that's Joni Mitchell live at Carnegie Hall. I mean, I just love the way she talks to the audience. You know, she's having a great time, and she's talking about her songs, that some of them are unfinished and some of them aren't so good, and so humble and so just heartfelt, really. So that's my number 2 spot. Number 1, no surprise really. There's actually 2. I've cheated here. Okay, so give me a break. 2 records in my number 1 spot, 2022 best record, or records that have dropped on me this year, and it has to be this one, Record Store Day, Art Pepper Meets the Rhythm Section. It was a Record Store Day exclusive on Craft. It's a mono. I think they've just brought out the stereo, which is fantastic, but I wanted also just to showcase Art Pepper plus 11. Yeah, that's a stereo. So let's just have a quick look at the first one. It sounds divine. It's like angels dancing around my speakers and sitting on my head. It's that nice. That's a load of nonsense. Art Pepper on alto sax, Red Garland on piano, Paul Chambers, of course, on bass, and Philly Joe Jones on drums. And it's just first class record. Perfect, start to finish. Leaps out at you. I mean, for goodness sakes, It was recorded in 1956, I think, 1957. And it's an absolutely beautiful jazz record, this. You know, it's beautiful beyond words. When Art Pepper 11 came out, not a Record Store Day exclusive, this was as good, almost, I thought. And I just love Opus de Funk. I love Groovin' High, Bernie's Tune. There's Sonny Rollins' Air Gin on this. And this is 1959 on Craft, 2021. So, two wonderful records. Art Pepper take the top spot for me. Fantastic, with Joni taking a second and Bill Evans taking a third. So I hope you like my top 12 of this year. It's been quite a year, really, isn't it? Lots happening, lots going on. So if I don't do another video before Christmas, have a good one, stay safe, keep spinning, and look forward to seeing you all next year. Take care, bye.